Hello there. Well, welcome to Jason's Kitchen and the first recipe of 2025. So recently I did a cashew nut curry and I got a few requests to do the recipe. So I thought we're having it tonight, so I thought I'll knock it together and just do a quick video of what I'm actually doing. Now with Chinese cooking, the main part or the main thing that you need to get right is the preparation. The cooking part is very quick, so it's actually all the hard work is in the prep. So I'm going to run through the ingredients, what we need for the cashew nut curry. So we need some ginger, which we've got. We need some garlic, which we've got. Spring onions, which we've got. On this particular one, I'm using red pepper, which we did have, and it's gone, which I'll get. I don't know where that's gone. There it is. It was hiding in plain sight, which we've got. Cashew nut curry, so cashew nuts, which we've got. And then for the sauce itself, it's pretty straightforward. It's a few little ingredients. So we've got light soy sauce. That's kind of one of the main ones. We've got white wine vinegar, which is a big one. You know, I've mentioned that before. I use it all the time in cooking. We've got Shaoxing rice wine. I'll show you the name because you'll all say, "But how would you spell that?" Shaoxing. That's how to spell it there. If you haven't got that, but it is actually readily available even now, you can use dry sherry. That has a similar sort of flavour to Shaoxing rice wine. That's often used as alternative. We've got some sesame oil. We've got some sugar. Yeah, there's sugar in there, and we've got some corn flour. So I'm going to whip through what we're going to do. So let's get the chopping done first. So let's kind of go in the order we're going to go. It might be easier. So I'm going to chop some ginger up. You can use a spoon to peel it. I'm just for quickness. I'm just going to just roughly take the edge of the skin off. Some people leave it down, leave the skin on. The only difference is with leaving the skin on with ginger, you get a little bit more heat from the ginger, because obviously you get heat from ginger, a bit of warmth as well as the flavour of the ginger. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the skin off. That's the way to do it. We'll do it properly. And we want about a tablespoon's worth. So I'm going to chop it fairly finely. So I'm going to just slice across. Just the thing with ginger as well, it might be worth pointing out, there's fibres that run the length of the ginger. So if you actually chop down the ginger, you chop down the fibres, sometimes you can end up with a lot of like ginger, looks like hair in your food. So always chop across ginger and you get rid of that problem. So I've got about four thin slices there, which if you have a look, that'll make about a tablespoon when I've chopped that. So let's get that done. I'm just going to get the ginger, run my knife through it, and we've got our ginger there ready. Nearly. Yeah, the next one is my garlic. Now I can, if I want to, grate the garlic. But one of the things that you'll find with Chinese cooking is it's a very high temperature cooking. And one of the things with the things with garlic is if you burn garlic, it tastes bitter. It's horrible. So you don't want to burn your garlic. So to avoid that, I kind of like to cut it similar sort of size because it goes in the same time as the ginger. So basically a similar sort of size to the ginger, and it basically cooks together. It fries, releases its fragrance and softens a little bit. Just get rid of the harsh rawness from it, and that's all good. So let's just run the knife through that. Just chop through at your own pace. The other thing that it's worth mentioning you could do if you wanted to is to use a garlic press, because that doesn't actually crush it to the point where it becomes like a paste, like a fine grater does. But it does squash it enough so you've still got some chunks left in there. But I find this kind of the best method because at the end of the day, I'm cutting it the same size as the ginger. So dead quick through there. Don't need to, I mean, some people julienne it, some people leave it in slices. I'm just doing it like this because that's the way I like to do it. Like I said, we're cooking. What you tend to find is you do things as you want to do them. And sometimes I do things one way one day, These are fairly clean, these spring onions. I've got 4 spring onions. I could do things one way one day and do it differently. It's just how I feel on the day. But you're trying to achieve the same thing at the end of the day. So I'm going to slice these diagonally. Now I'm keeping them all together, so I'm not doing them one by one. Otherwise that's going to take a bit longer. And I've got rid of the dark green parts, and I've just really got me, like I say, they're all clean, so I'm not too worried. Sometimes they're a bit scruffy or a bit sandy, the outer skins, and at which point I definitely would wash them and peel the outer skin off. So I've got my garlic ginger done, I've got my spring onion done, red pepper. So the way I find it, don't bounce it around. The way I find it easiest to do it is if you kind of put it down this way. I've seen people push this out. I've seen them just rip it apart with their hands and stuff like that. What I want to achieve is to get some chunks out of it, but I want to try to avoid the white bits. So as you can see inside where the white bits run in the middle, if I kind of run my knife round like this, I'm kind of leaving the white bit there. That's the bitter bit. And I'm getting it in some sort of shape that I actually want for me dish. And there's very little, it's hard to see. There's a bit on the bottom if I wanted it, but there's plenty enough there. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in chunks, so half each one, and roughly bite-sized pieces. If it's too wide, I'll cut it in 3, or if it's just wide enough, you know, that's fine with that. Like I say, however things are easiest to do, it's just to achieve the result that you want. Like I say, probably I'll do that in 3, that one, and make the slices slightly longer. So I'm getting all about the same size, which is good. That's what we want. So there's our red pepper. Our last thing, solid wise, that is, prepping this, and then it's all about the sauce. And we've got chicken, of course. Is a handful of cashew nuts. Literally it is going to be a handful. As many as you want, as many as you like. I'm just going to put a handful in there. Daughter loves cashew nuts. Probably in the Chinese they won't put as much in because they're expensive. So that's that. Let's do the sauce. Right, dead easy. I tell you what, we'll do it by measure, but you can weigh things. Yeah, no, I'm just going to do it by spoons. I do like to weigh things, but also in this, I'm going to be fairly accurate with the measures I'm going to use. So first of all, premium light, well, just light soy sauce. I've got 2 tablespoons of that, which is equivalent to 30 milliliters, which is equivalent to 30 grams. So if you want to weigh it, 30 grams. I'm going to use a tablespoon-ish, just what we call a scant tablespoon, so not overflowing, just a short, maybe a short tablespoon of Shaoxing rice wine. So that's going to be just short of 30 mils there, just short of 30 grams. The normal recipe, I think it's two teaspoons, which is 10 mils, but I generally put a little bit more in there. Right, the next thing we've got is rice wine vinegar. Let's do our liquids, and I want 2 teaspoons of this. Be careful with this because it's powerful in the dish. It gives you that acidic flavour, but you get too much in there, it will be too powerful for the dish. So I like to do teaspoons away from the bowls, just in case I spill it. So there's 1, there's 2 teaspoons. I spilled a bit there, but it wasn't in the bowl. So I know that 10 grams. The next thing is I want sesame seed oil, the toasted one, and I want 1 tablespoon of sesame seed oil in there. 1 tablespoon in, done, dusted. And the last thing I want is, well, I want corn flour, but I want 2 teaspoons of sugar. You'll find in Chinese cooking that they use sugar all the time. It's to balance the flavours out, because they're using a lot of salty things like soys and bits and pieces like that. The sugar just helps to balance the flavours. You get that kind of sweet and sour effect, which Chinese food is known for a lot. So let's have 2 decent teaspoons, about that much decent. 2 of those in there. And again, this is to taste. Afterwards you might think, a bit sweet. We'll just go a bit less. You can always add a little bit more, but I think that's about right for this particular dish. You might think, I don't like things too sweet. You can always add a little bit you can't take it out once it's in. And the last thing, would have one level, and I'm using this as well, it's got oil in it. Actually, it's a good thing, so it won't stick to it that much. Leveled tablespoon, which I'm using like a proper one, which is 15 mils, or it will be about, I don't know whether it's, tell you what, let's actually weigh this one, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. So a level tablespoon of, right, better zero that. That's me bread call. Right, so a level tablespoon, I'm going to check to see what's in there, and that is 8 grams in there. So it is quite like corn flour, so you might think, well, I thought you took 15 grams, that's me bread. Just going to check me bread, 1 second, because that, I thought it'd be finished by now, but 2 seconds, you know what I'm like. Oh, yeah, that's looking good. I'll have to show you my bread. We'll pause for bread. I normally make big bloomers, so what I've done this time is I've tried to make smaller ones. So it's a bit of an experiment whether it's done or not. So I'm just going to do a quick check with my temperature probe, make sure the internal temperature is where I need it to be, and then we're all good. And I'm back with you. 2 seconds. I'll be back. I'll give you a lowdown where we're up to here. So yeah, I'll come back. I don't think it is. Yeah, we're looking for about 90. Yeah, we're looking for about 98 degrees there. It's low 90s. That's going to go in for another. That's going to go in for another couple of minutes. So we'll stick that in there. Alexa, set timer for 4 minutes. So there's our corn flour in there, and that's 8 grams. And the very last thing we've got to do is we've got to put our chicken stock in there. So that's I think the thing I failed to mention. Again, I'll probably weigh this for you so you can see, but it will be about 6 tablespoons, which is about 90 grams. But I'm holding back on the chicken stock, so I might add more at the end when we cook it. If it's a little bit on the thick side, that's exactly what I'll be doing. 1, 8, 4, 5, 6. And there we are, 80, I tell you what. Yeah, that's 90 grams. That's 90 grams. Yeah, I've got stuff left in the spoon, so it's not an exact measure. The thing you do at this point, now I've got corn flour in there, I'm going to just give it a stir, just amalgamate that, but just give it a mix. And then what you'll find while that sits there, so that's all our prep work done. That's the sauce done, and the next bit will be very, very easy. All I need to do is cook the chicken, and the next thing is throw the other bits in the pan as we go, and that'll be that. So there's our sauce done. I'll leave that sitting there. All our prep work's done. So I've got the peppers, I've got the cashew nuts, spring onions, garlic, ginger, and our sauce is done. All ready to go. Bread's in the oven. You've had a sneak preview of that, so you got to say it first. You got to say it first. My first small bloomers. So that's it. I'll catch you later in the cooking. So bye for now.